Okay, part four, and this one I promise will be the last one. So we were talking about intrarectal administration, and so the fluids, there's a speed that it has to go in, or if it goes too quick, you'll have diarrhea. The second thing too is that a lot of people, and I will get into the other myth or the other solution, I guess, um, is that they were like, well, if the water is not clean, I'll just give it to rectally and you'll get fluid. And it's true. I mean, it proved it and everything and stuff. One of the issue, though, is that our guts is not clean. Our gut has a lot of bacteria and everything and inside. But the problem is that there's a balance inside it. It's a little bit like a wound. So there's bacteria everywhere. We have all instilled and everything, and when they're in check and control, that's okay. The problem is that if you inject water the other way around, that has a lot of crap and whatever and stuff, yeah, your gut will be able to absorb it, but that bacteria will stay in your guts. And what happens when you have an infection that grows into your gut? It may not go to your bloodstream, but sometime it may. Actually, there's when we had a burn patient that was very dehydrated and all that, their guts would open up and all the bacteria they have in their guts would get into their vessels, and they would have like severe bacteria. Yeah, and actually, burns you don't really die of the burns. You die mostly of the complication of the burns because they're so you have no skin, so they lose a lot of fluid, the third shift and all that, and then all there's things you have to give, and all the infection can come in and the guts and all that stuff. So usually burns you don't buy really of the burns, you buy a complication of the burns. Well, in this case, would be a little bit the same thing kind of that could happen, meaning that whatever crap they have inside, the osmolarity could pull some fluid, because again, you don't know the osmolarity of the lake or the pound or the pond or whatever you found, and that will pull. And there is such a thing as osmosis diarrhea. So yes, you may absorb some of those fluid, but if you may not. So it depends on whatever it is. Plus, add to this that you could give yourself an infection, and it would be able to come out. So somehow you have to find a way to strain that water as best as you can, and not give it too fast, or else you will get also diarrhea. Then it brings us to the next kind of way of that you could solve yourself would be drinking that nasty water. Here it's again, like I was saying before, the body is an intelligent, stupid machine. So your body is trying to shut you down, starting to shut down your kidneys, starting to shut down that. And if you don't drink soon, you will be dead anyway. So some people say, well, in diarrhea, might as well drink then your urine. That one has been proven, it's been checked. It's not good, because it would be like, because you have no more food, you're eating your garbage. So like the plastic container that your food was in, to try to keep your food. It's exactly the same thing. Yes, there is water in your urine, but it is so concentrated. And we like when we see people even dehydrated at work, you should see like when we do a urine dip on that, there's ketones and everything, and so you re-ingurgitate those things, and you're increasing the the waste. So basically, it was supposed to be wasted. You have to waste it. Drinking it is not a good option at all. Even if they say it's sterile, it's not about the sterility. It's about what's inside. There's almost no more water inside that, and your kidneys usually are shutting down too. And even one point you'll be, I'll be peeing good, but actually your peeing like dead cells, and what we call rhabdomyolysis can come out, and basically there's nothing really good towards the end of that. So that one's not very good. If you're about to go out and stuff and there's really no water, if you would try to, so, and you, again, the scenario is you do not have filters, whatever reason, you're not there and stuff, and you have water, that would be about the only thing that you can, because the time that it would take you to develop an infection out of in your guts that would make you having diarrhea would probably be higher up. So maybe you could save another day, and then that's maybe just when the day that somebody find you and things like that. So that would be probably my best option for that. The enema, again, it's not enema, it's a proteolysis. That would be maybe one that I would you could try. I did videos in the past where it says subcutaneous, but here wouldn't really be helpful because I don't think you can help that could treat that water, and so injecting down there your skin, you would probably have more chance of getting a wound infection and then losing fluid that way as well. So really the best solution for that one would be probably to drink. But yeah. So yeah, I wanted to address, I know it's kind of a long video at the end, but I wanted to address, because there was a lot of like comments and stuff, especially the one with the enema. It's not an enema, you have to have a certain speed, and you have to be careful about what you're putting in in there, even if it doesn't have to be sterile like a IV fluid. Non-clean doesn't mean also that it won't impact the your having diarrhea and stuff, because there is such a thing called osmosis, diarrhea osmosis, and basically is what happened is that your the osmosis, when we're talking about how fluid goes from one side to the other, if the concentration is higher in your guts, all that water will come into your guts. What is diarrhea? It's watery stool. So basically you have so much water in your guts that you have a major diarrhea. And so if you put the wrong thing inside there, algae to whatever, I don't know how nasty the pond was, so don't know what's inside that, but you could bring like big particles of stuff that could have a very strong osmosis. Yeah, you would pull a lot of water and basically dehydrate yourself more than you're able to put in. And don't forget that that's pretty much the definition of dehydration. How much you put in versus what you put out. It's not so much you don't think a lot in, it's how much you're losing basically versus what you're taking. So for example, if I take like little sip every 2 days or whatever, but it's about what because I'm not hot or something, I can probably last longer that if I'm losing a lot taking those same sips, because my loss will be higher up than what's coming in, versus if the other one will be maybe a little bit like that versus the other one's kind of like that. So that's what creates dehydration, is the differential of ins versus out. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions or any comments and stuff, don't hesitate to put down, and I'll talk to you soon.